To understand the magnitude of this betrayal, you have to understand who we were. We weren't just a random couple from the suburbs. In our town, we were the couple. My name is Michael. I was the head pastor of a large, thriving church. Sarah was the quintessential pastor's wife. She was beautiful, poised, and radiated a kind of warmth that made everyone feel safe. We had 3 wonderful kids. We had a beautiful home. From the outside, our life looked like a postcard. But postcards are static. They don't show you what happens when the doors are closed. Building a ministry isn't just a job, it's a lifestyle. It consumes you. For years, I gave everything I had to the church. I was counseling broken families, organizing charity events, and preparing sermons. I was so busy saving everyone else's marriage that I forgot to nurture my own. Sarah and I became partners, not lovers. We were running a corporation, and our children were the employees. We stopped talking about us. We only talked about schedules, budgets, and the kids. The intimacy faded. The laughter died down. And in its place, a quiet, cold distance started to grow between us. I thought it was just a phase. I told myself, this is normal after 20 years of marriage. I was wrong. I was blind. I didn't see that my wife was drowning in loneliness, and I definitely didn't see the person who was waiting to throw her a lifeline. Enter Kyle. Kyle was 24 years old. He was young, charismatic, and talented. He came to our church as a volunteer musician. He played the guitar with a passion that captivated the congregation. But he had a troubled past. He came from a broken home and was looking for guidance. Sarah and I, being the good shepherds, decided to take him under our wing. We invited him into our home. We let him eat at our table. I mentored him. I treated him like the son I never had. I look back now, and I want to scream at my past self. I was so arrogant. I thought I was helping a lost lamb. I didn't realize I was inviting a wolf into my sheepfold. While I was locked in my study writing sermons, Kyle was in the living room with Sarah. It started innocently, I'm sure. They talked about music. They talked about life. But then, the conversations got deeper. Sarah started opening up to him in ways she hadn't opened up to me in years. He gave her something I hadn't given her in a long time, attention. He made her feel seen. He made her feel desirable. One rainy afternoon, while I was out of town at a conference, the line was crossed. My wife, the woman who stood beside me every Sunday and prayed for faithfulness, slept with a 24-year-old boy in our guest bedroom. And it didn't stop there. It became an affair, a secret world they built right under my nose. And I suspected nothing. I was too busy being Pastor Michael to notice that my own house was burning down. Flash forward to the car ride home from the doctor. That silence was heavier than gravity. I drove, staring straight ahead, my knuckles white on the steering wheel. When we pulled into the driveway, I didn't even turn off the engine. I just looked at her and asked one question. Who is he? She broke. She wept so hard she could barely speak. And then she told me everything. She told me about Kyle. She told me about the loneliness. She told me it was a mistake. But this wasn't just a mistake. This was a biological catastrophe. See, there was another layer to this nightmare. Kyle was African American. I am white. Sarah is white. Biology doesn't lie. DNA doesn't negotiate. This baby wasn't just going to be proof of an affair. It was going to be a neon sign announcing her infidelity to the entire world. In 9 months, everyone, my congregation, our neighbors, our family, would know. There would be no hiding it. The baby would be biracial. The shame I felt was overwhelming. I felt emasculated. I felt stupid. I wanted to pack a bag and leave that night. I wanted to divorce her, expose them both, and move to a different state where no one knew my name. But then I looked at my other 3 children sleeping upstairs. I thought about the scandal. I thought about the innocent life growing inside her. That baby didn't ask to be created from a lie. The pregnancy was 9 months of hell. We lived like roommates who hated each other. I slept in the guest room, the same room where she had betrayed me. Every time I saw her belly grow, I felt a spike of rage. But then, the day came. We were in the delivery room. It was tense, quiet. And then, he was born. A baby boy. The nurse cleaned him up and handed him to me. I looked down. He was beautiful, perfect. And yes, his skin was darker than mine. He had Kyle's nose. He had Kyle's eyes. But as he wrapped his tiny hand around my finger, something shifted in my chest. He looked at me with total trust. He didn't know about the affair. He didn't know about the vasectomy. He just knew that I was the one holding him. In that moment, the anger didn't disappear, but it was replaced by something else. A fierce, protective love. I realized that if I walked away, this boy would grow up fatherless. He would grow up knowing he was a mistake. I couldn't let that happen. I made a decision right there in that hospital room. A decision that shocked Sarah and everyone who knew the truth. I signed the birth certificate. I gave him my last name. I named him Leo. I decided to stay. Not because I had forgiven Sarah yet. That would take years of therapy and tears. But because a father isn't defined by biology. A father is defined by who stays when things get hard. Today, Leo is 10 years old. He calls me Dad. He is the joy of my life. He knows he looks different, and we have had difficult conversations. But he knows he is loved. I didn't save my marriage for my wife. I saved it for the innocent boy who needed a father more than I needed my pride. Some people call me weak. Some call me a saint. I'm neither. I'm just a man who chose love over revenge. Thanks for listening.